Hello again, it's me, Carrie from Fern and Flox Designs. So as you may notice, this is not the Fern and Flox YouTube channel. That was my previous channel that was an entire brand. But long story short is that brand was costing me money, but it wasn't making any money. So I decided to close it out. It wasn't an easy decision. But I knew that it wasn't going anywhere, so I had to just break up with it. But I believe this video has important context for what I'm going to be making videos about on this channel in the future. So I've decided to repost it with this little disclaimer, so just know that this is the old, there will be new, but this has important context for what's to come. And welcome to my yarn stash video. So my stash at this point has gotten to be large enough where I don't know everything that I have. It's too much, really. So this year I am on a mission to try and eliminate it. So in the upcoming video, I will show you my stash first of all, and then talk about the projects that I have planned. So I will be making a Ravelry queue of all of the projects that I'm going to be talking about coming up. So if you are not able to stay around for the entire video, feel free to check the links below to my Ravelry page and you can see all of the projects that I have. And I've tried to list yarn for some of them if I can find them on Ravelry. So currently we are refinishing our basement, so this back area is kind of the storage space or where all the stuff goes while we finish the rest of the basement. So it's quite a lot of stuff back here. And this is actually where my yarn stash lives currently. So, or most of it anyway. It's back here in the corner. 1 tote, 2 totes, 3 totes, 4, 5, 6 totes, 7 totes. So yes, there is quite a lot of yarn down here. I thought that maybe I would sort through some of it. There's a couple totes where it's just miscellaneous things that I've acquired, but there is quite a lot of it that I do have plans for, so I thought maybe I would cut some of it out and go over some of what I have planned. Hi, buddy. Somebody wants to go outside. Outside? Cute! Whew. So I've brought up all my yarn. And I actually found another tote. So there's 8 totes, and there is 1 basket of things that I kept up in my craft room. Well, when I went through all of that yarn, I kind of organized it by weight, a little bit by fiber, into all of these different totes. So I have a pretty good idea what's in each one, but I'll kind of go over with what's in each one with you. So in this first one here is pretty much all the miscellaneous bulky, super bulky, you know, just the random thicker stuff that I've acquired over the years. I won't dig down through this whole thing to show you everything what's in here, but there are some nice things. On to the next tote. This tote, I know what's in here. There was a period of time in my crafting journey where this one particular yarn was all that I wanted to buy, all that I wanted to work with. It was just like the yarn that I did everything with for quite some time. Like it was probably at least a year or so where it's just like this was the only thing I was really like had at top of mind all the time. So I'll show you what it is. And this whole tote is full of just this line of yarn. So what have we got in here? Hugh and Me from Lion Brand. Yep, this is what I had been working with pretty much constantly, and this thing is stuffed absolutely full of Hugh and Me. Like, it's completely packed, 100%. So yeah, there's a lot of it. I do have some in my other bulky things, so there's a lot of Hugh and Me in my stash. A lot of it. Alright, moving on. This next tote is a combination of things. So, like any beginning crafter, when I first started getting into knitting and crocheting in general, I of course found some random person on Facebook Marketplace that was looking to get rid of their stash. It was in a giant bucket of, hi buddy. It was in a giant bucket of, like, it was just like a garbage bag, I think, or, you know, a laundry basket, whatever. Just balls of it like this, just sitting in there. So a lot of the lower end yarns that I have are from that. So all of these really scratchy, weird acrylics, that's where those come from. This Tweety one here actually came from a thrift store in northern Wisconsin, so it's actually a really pretty tweed, so I'm excited to, you know, do something nice with it. It looks like there's quite a bit of yardage, so. And the next tote. This is a lot of my cotton yarns, so a lot of like hobby rainbow cotton in here. There's some other miscellaneous whole skeins. This, I basically wanted to have a lot of my plant fiber whole skeins, whole balls in here. So I have a bunch of this Hobby Rainbow Bamboo in this mushroom color. I've got quite a load of this Hobby Rainbow Cotton in this burgundy. And then just kind of various other colors which I've used for recent projects, and there's just a couple extra skeins left over. So this is my natural fiber or plant fiber whole skein box. This is my plant fiber partial skein box, unraveled project box. I bought a bunch of this on sale at Joann, this like variegated gray pinky colorway, and the put up was like a wound ball, and I just didn't like how it was feeding out, so I caked all of it. This here is Lion Brand Trubu that I unraveled from a field project. Then most of this other stuff is just miscellaneous and unwound things. Alright, last long skinny tote. Oh gosh, this is a partial skein of Hugh and Me box, mostly acrylic blend stuff. I made some really scrappy cakes of Hugh and Me. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then here's a couple other scrappy cakes that I made. Yeah, so lots of scrappy acrylic stuff. I believe this is some kind of wool blend. I have whole skeins of this as well. Skeins? I don't know. And there's a couple balls of mohair in here as well. And Tucker wants to check them out as well. Okay, so this tub here, this was a gift. Some little mini balls that, I don't know, I'm thinking I might have a pattern in mind for. And then this is a lot of not like super bulky whole skein miscellaneous stuff, but more of like the bulky kind of range. I was really into velvet yarn for a while, not for amigurumi or anything, but more for accessories. Like I did a lot of hats with it. There's this Higgy by Red Heart as well. I bought it, I think, because I just really liked the yarn and the texture of it without really a project in mind. And then below here, there's just a lot of other, like, bulky type yarns. So, yeah, lots of miscellaneous bulky stuff. Last tote before the basket. Okay, yeah, we got more of like a worsted weight acrylic situation. Looks like there's some whole skeins, there's some unwound cakes, and yeah, just like a hodgepodge of things. These were, maybe not these, I think this red was from that garbage bag when I first started. Yeah, just a lot of random things, random gifts and things. Like I believe this was a gift. So, yes, this is a random box. Box of random things. Yeah. Okay, and this basket was what I cleaned out from my yarn craft room. This isn't all of it, like I have a bunch more of these and these in there, but I thought I would just bring out just one of what I have to kind of explain the project that I'm working on. And all of these, less that pink and yellow yarn down in the corner there, I do have projects in mind for. So I'll kind of walk you through what I was thinking for all of these. I kept them in the upstairs guest bedroom because I do have plans for them and I wanted to keep them out of storage, like deep storage. So that's why I've kept these specific ones up here. So when I buy yarn, it's usually because I'm hyper fixated on a pattern, and then I try to find yarn to fit that pattern that I want to make it with. Not all the time. I've had instances where I've bought yarn for a pattern that I never made and then decided to use it for something else, or there was yarn on sale and I found a pattern for it later on. But I usually, when I buy stuff, there's a pattern in mind for it, usually. A lot has accumulated over the years just because, you know, you don't use all of the yarn for a project or it doesn't end up working for that project. Things like that. So that's mostly how they accumulate. So let's get started with some of the projects that I have for some of the yarn that I have. So I will show pictures somewhere over here for the patterns that I have in mind for these. But I will just kind of start going through the basket that I brought from my craft yarn closet, and Tucker has to be included. So if you see me pausing awkwardly, it's because Tucker needed a little ear pet. He likes getting his ears flapped. Yes, you are, sweetie boy. Yeah. I've been working at home all day, and if I'm sitting at my computer, he knows that he's not really supposed to be bothering me, so I'm sitting here on the couch, so he's like, yeah, it's time to get some pets. But anyway, let's start with this yarn. I have the 5 hanks of this colorway from Less Traveled Yarn. Unfortunately, I believe they no longer dye yarn, so this probably isn't available anymore. But it is a colorway inspired by the Horseshoe Bend in Arizona. And I had been there, and it's amazing. Definitely go to Arizona, check it out if you are looking for somewhere to go on vacation. Can highly recommend that. Arizona is probably one of my favorite places. I've been to different areas of the state, and it's all beautiful. Back to the yarn. It's a sock blend of merino and nylon, and the pattern that I bought it for is the Cargill sweater by Rebecca Clow on Ravelry. and it's a really beautiful textured sweater. So that is this yarn. This yarn, I believe I have another hank of this as well. And I believe this was from a local yarn shop up in Door County, Wisconsin. It's just a white merino nylon sock blend, I think. Yeah, like a fingering weight sock. And then this, I believe, is, oh yes, this is from Hobby Lobby. So what I want to make with this is I believe it's the Palmier Knits tee from Knitting Tipsy. And I would be using this for the main color, and then this white would be for the ribbing. So it would be this colorful with this white trim. So that's this one. Don't mind me while I look up this next one because I can't remember what it's called. Is a DK weight merino. Yes, 100% superwash merino from Explore Knit Fibers. And I have the Bryce Canyon National Park colorway, and what's this one called? Pollen, which is a nice, really mustardy, bright yellow color. And then this really like rich, they call it tawny brown, and this is all DK weight. And I will be making the Good Vibes Only top from, who is this by? Bluebird Pine Shop. And it's such a cute pattern. Like, I think, so this will be one of like the main colors. I haven't decided which one of these is going to be the thin stripe and the other thick stripe. So I'm not sure which one's going to be the ribbing and the thin stripe. But this is going to be a main color. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's similar to the horseshoe one that I bought, but there's a lot more like orange and like burnt umbery type colors in here. Bryce Canyon is actually in Utah, southern Utah, so it's close to Arizona, so like maybe you can see a trend here. I, like most people, became hyper fixated on, oh gosh, it's a sweater, it's a cardigan. Let's see if Instagram can help me find it. Oh yeah. This pattern was her first pattern, I believe. It's the Heirloom Quilt Cardigan by Katrin Seeberger. I apologize if I butchered your name, but yeah. So if you haven't heard of this pattern yet, there's nothing that really needs to be said. It's fabulous, and I cannot wait to start working on it. It might take me some time. I've never tried color changing and knitting like that, so it'll be a learning experience. Yes, hello Tucker. Hello little boy. So for some of the yarn, some of it was I bought from Knit Picks on sale. They were having like a Halloween sale or something. Like some of like fall color type things they had on sale. So I have this green color, which is wool of, these three are all wool of the Andes. It's sport weight, and it's called, what is the color? Pampas Heather. It's like a very green, like Pampas Heather makes me think of like brown, but I don't know. It's more of a green. I guess fresh pampas would be green, I guess. So it makes sense. And then this one is called Turmeric. It's like another golden mustardy color. And this here, which I started using for something else, is the Dove Heather. It'll be one of the neutrals that I use. And the last yarn that I have for that pattern so far, I can't remember how many colors I need. I might need some additional yarn for that. But I also bought this from a local Yarn Shop. It's 80% wool, 10% silk, and 10% cashmere. It's like a burnt orange, tweedy color I thought would be really pretty in those quilted squares. I saw it and I immediately was like, I need it. This is kind of the color palette so far for the quilted heirloom cardigan, and I think the solids here pair really nicely with the flecks that are in the tweed. So yeah, I think that'll be really pretty. Okay, the next pattern I'm gonna have to look up as well. Also a very ambitious knit project, but you know, that's kind of what I tend to do to myself, is pick out very adventurous projects. Okay, it is the Coast to Coast wrap from Two of Wands, and let me get out my colors for that. Here we go. So it's a bit of a browny, pinky, yellowy situation. So I guess we'll see once I start working it up how I feel about that. We'll see. But all of this yarn was on sale at Joann's, and it is the Color Theory from Lion Brand and Two of Wands. So the Coast to Coast wrap is what this is intended for. This hand dyed is, I think, also from Hobby Lobby, and it was a gift. It's very colorful. I haven't decided what to pick for or what to make with this yet. And this is Pound of Love in, I believe the color is Umber. This yarn I have been using for other stuff. I also have another partial skein of it, or a ball, or I don't know if you could call this a skein, because it's huge. But my plans for this are the Espresso Cardigan by Chiara what is your name, girl? Chiara Carnevale. Again, I apologize if I have messed up her name. But I've been looking, I just need like a staple sweater in my wardrobe. So that's kind of where this comes in. I just need something that I can throw on any day, you know, like just put it on for the day and like just wear it. So just in my regular everyday wardrobe, just need that staple piece to kind of fill in the gaps. So that was everything from the upstairs closet. I showed you during the whole walkthrough of the different tubs I think there's like 2 bins of like miscellaneous no project yarn. So it's just stuff that has accumulated over time that I don't have any plans for. And I'll be honest, I don't know what to do with it. Do I just hang on to it for, you know, until a project comes up? Like I don't necessarily feel like want to just get rid of all of it just because I don't have a project for it right now. Because that seems kind of silly just to not have anything on hand. I mean, I'll probably keep it until, for the time being anyway. I'm sure projects will come up. They always do. There's always another project, despite the like 6 I just told you about. So for my Hue and Me collection, I've got a couple different ideas, both of which are blankets from Two of Wands. I believe one is the Harvest Throw, which is a knit, and then the Modular Quilt is another knit blanket. I believe she has a crochet version as well. So with all of my cotton yarns that I have, whether it's like miscellaneous balls or if it's like those like scrappy cakes, I'm not so much worried about because I started a denim upcycling clothing brand where I go out and thrift or pull secondhand items from my own closet and use fiber crafts to update them. Cotton and plant fibers are really good for doing that with denim, which is primarily what I'm going to be doing. So lots of denim upcycling and hopefully more on that soon. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed maybe commiserating with me if you have a giant stash as well, or if it inspired you to maybe do something with your stash. Or maybe you're someone who has already gone through this process and it's like #relatable. You can let me know what you think in the comments, or if you have any ideas or suggestions for me. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.